Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I am Dr. Dada as usual. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to talk about the most common presentations in the GIT. The first one is dysphagia. So we are going to be focusing on dysphagia today. So let's see, what is this dysphagia? Dysphagia. Some people say dysphagia. Okay, now what's the meaning of this dysphagia? Dysphagia simply means difficulty in swallowing. Difficulty in swallowing, and it's usually associated with swallowing. It is usually associated with heartburn and vomiting. And so, what are the causes of this dysphagia? Actually, we have like two causes. If we can divide it, it will be like two causes. We have the oropharyngeal causes. Oropharyngeal meaning the oral cavity and the pharynx disorders. And here we have the esophageal disorders. Esophageal disorders. Okay, now let's take them one by one and see what happens. The first one is the oropharyngeal disorders. So now these oropharyngeal disorders mainly affect the initiation of swallowing in the pharynx or in the upper esophageal sphincter. Affect initiation of swallowing in the pharynx and the upper esophageal sphincter. So now, how does a patient present, or what are the complaints of the patient? Complaints. So a patient that is having oropharyngeal disorder will be complaining of recurrent choking, nasal regurgitation, aspiration. There is also drooling, lot of drooling, and we have dysarthria. This is a situation whereby a person is finding it difficult to form words or sentences, and there is hoarseness of the voice, and there are neurological abnormalities, neurological signs, especially associated with cranial nerves. Neurological signs. So now let's see what are the example of the causes of the oral disorders and the pharyngeal abnormality. So now, in the oral cavity, the most common problems are, we have the malignancy, we have tonsillitis, which is very, very common, and we have the herpes simplex. We also have ulcer, the aphthous ulcer, and we have stomatitis. These are the most common in the oral cavity. And then in the pharynx, we have things like the motor neuron disease. We also have the myasthenia gravis, and we also have, in patients who had stroke, that is for stroke. Yep. And we have globus hystericus. This is the hystericus cause. Yeah, this is a psychological disorder. It's a kind of feeling a person feels like he's having something in his throat, like a foreign body. So it causes inability to, like, difficulty in swallowing. And there are things like we have also pre-malignant conditions, pre-malignant and malignant conditions, and malignant conditions. Okay, now let's move to esophageal disorders. And the esophageal disorders in this part, the common problem is either we have obstruction of the lumen, or there is abnormality in motility abnormality, or obstruction of the lumen. So these are the two problems that happens in the esophageal disorders. Now, what is the most common presentation of patients with esophageal disorders causing dysphagia? They usually complain of sticking of food, that is food sticking after meal. So after meal, they feel like the food is sticking in their throat, and this sensation, it's not at the point of the problem. It's usually not at the point of the problem, but then it's also points to dysphagia and the abnormality in the esophagus. This is the most common. And now the causes of this esophageal disorders leading to dysphagia, like I said earlier, we have the motility disorders and we have the obstructive disorders. So under the motility disorders, we have things like achalasia, we have scleroderma, we also have Chagas disease, okay, and we have diffuse spasm and DM in some cases. Okay, and now what are the obstructive causes? The obstructive causes, we have things like goiter, which is very common. Goiter, that is the thyroid here. And we have foreign body, and we have bronchogenic carcinoma, we also have aneurysm, aortic aneurysm, and there is also benign esophageal stricture. So these are the causes of obstructive esophageal disorders. So now, in general, how do we investigate a patient with dysphagia? So now the investigations include, you do endoscopy, there is barium swallow, this is our barium swallow, and manometry, and finally the treatment. Simple, according to the cause.